What makes a good story? What makes a story a good story? I'm sure you guys over there have some stories you really love to read or to listen to. What makes that story a good story? Every good story has a problem, doesn't it? It has a problem that has to be solved. You know, my 2-year-old granddaughter loves the book, The Napping House. Anybody know that one? So in The Napping House, it's raining outside, and you have everybody sleeping. You have a mouse sleeping on top of a cat, sleeping on top of a dog, on and on and on. And then there's a problem. And the problem is there's a flea that's awake. And that flea bites the mouse, that scares the cat, and on and on and on, and it just chaos takes over. How about the story Cinderella? Has anyone here ever heard that story? Okay, what's the problem? Who's the problem in Cinderella? The wicked stepmother. Perfect. Okay, what about the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? Yeah? There. Yes, we have a white witch who takes over the land of Narnia and makes it a place where it's always winter but never Christmas. Yes. Okay, have you ever read the comic book Spider-Man? Yeah, well, in Spider-Man, he has lots of problems. 2 of them happen to be Dr. Octopus, right? And what about the Green Goblin? Yeah, those are problems he has to deal with. One of my favorite books growing up was The Secret Garden. And in that book, there's a problem. The first problem is that there's a girl named Mary who is spoiled, demanding, and self-centered. The second problem is that there's a boy named Colin who is spoiled, demanding, and self-centered. Big problem. My 8-year-old grandson's favorite book is called Homer Price. Now that book, in that book, Homer, on one of his adventures, has to go and find this gang of robbers that stole a bunch of money. That's a problem. As followers of Jesus, as believers in God, we have a book that tells a great story, don't we? Okay? It's the best story ever. It's a true story. It's a life-changing story. What is that book? The Bible. You guys are awesome. You're so smart. It's the Bible. And as I just said, every good story has a problem. What is the problem in this great story? Sin. Did I hear that all over the chorus? Yeah. Sin. Sin is the problem. Sin is not living up to God's standards. Sin is disobeying God. In this book, in the Bible, we read about a whole lot of people who disobey God. It starts in the beginning, when actually in the beginning, the story is perfect. But when Adam and Eve come, they disobey God, and everything changes. Everything changes. Just like the people we read about in this Bible, we too have a sin problem. We were born with it. We are no different. We disobey God, we say things, and we do things that are mean, and it makes God sad. Now, the books I mentioned earlier all had a problem, and all those problems were solved. The sun came out, Cinderella gets to go to the ball, Aslan is on the move. We find out that a spider's web actually is really strong. A garden through a secret door becomes a place of healing, and Homer's pet skunk, no kidding, named Aroma, saves the day and captures the robbers. But better still, this book, the Bible, tells of our rescuer, rescuing us from our problem of sin. Like everyone we read about in the Bible, we too need a rescuer. So, who is our rescuer? That's it. The answer to every Sunday school question. Jesus. How did he rescue us? He died on the cross for us. You guys are awesome. He paid the price for our sin. the full force of the storm of God's fierce anger at sin, that's the problem, came down on his own Son instead of on his people. That's us. It was the only way God could destroy sin and not destroy his children. That's us. And he did this because he loves us. Because he loves you. Toward the end of this book, there's the book of Romans. And in that book of Romans, in verse 9, it says this: if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. Wow. Do you find yourself in this story? We find our way into the story not by being good enough, but by believing in Jesus. So this is a great story. Yes? Amen.